This is the Mystery Solutions Lab. The objective is to identify 14 unknown solutions through the use of differences in their chemical and physical properties. The 14 solutions we will be using are calcium chloride, sodium acetate, phenolphthalein, sodium carbonate, hydrochloric acid, ammonia, acetic acid, hydrogen peroxide, water, silver nitrate, copper 2 sulfate, potassium iodide, sodium chloride, and copper 2 nitrate. The physical properties that will be involved in this lab are color and odor, which can be found by means of wafting. The chemical properties that will be involved in this lab are flame color, which is based on a compound's cation and can be found by means of flame test, and reactivity, or more specifically, precipitate reactions and hydrolysis reactions, which determine a solution's pH. To best organize the 14 unknown solutions, a spot plate should be used, and don't forget to number each spot for ease of data collection. Pipettes will be used to transfer no more than 5 drops of each solution into its own spot. A single pipette should be used for only a single solution, so be sure to have plenty on hand.
The first test is determining the pH of each solution. This is done by dipping the tip of a litmus strip in each solution. The tip of the litmus strip will turn a specific color, which can then be matched with the corresponding color of a provided pH chart. The pH of a solution is determined by the solution's hydrogen ion and hydroxide concentrations. This can be theoretically found by a hydrolysis reaction of the solution's cation and anion. Our results can be shown in the table below the screen.
The second test is chemical reactivity. Similar to the first test, conducting precipitate reactions can be done on a spot plate. A precipitate reaction is a reaction in which a solid forms. And don't forget, because we will be performing multiple sets of reactions, the spot plate must be cleaned before using a new chemical each time. We performed reactivity tests on all 14 solutions with silver nitrate. You could see some of the solutions did not react at all, while some changed color entirely. The process was then repeated using sodium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid, and potassium iodide. However, reactivity with a solid such as manganese 4 oxide requires careful scooping. These reactions are being performed on a sheet of clear plastic, which makes the precipitate easier to see. The manganese 4 oxide is actually only a catalyst in the decomposition of solution 11, which attributes to the bubbling. After conducting all of our reactivity tests, this table shows our results.
The third test is the flame test. This requires you to soak 3 wooden splints in each solution for at least 12 hours. Be sure not to conduct this test on phenolphthalein, for it is highly flammable. After soaking your wooden splints in solution, you are ready to conduct the flame test. You will pass your wooden splints over the quiet, controlled flame of a Bunsen burner. The reacting flame will burn a specific color, corresponding to the solution's cation.
After completing all of our tests, these are all of our results. After compiling all of our data together, we were able to determine the identity of each solution with appropriate justification and a secondary confirmation. For example, solution 1 is water because it did not produce a color and flame test and had a neutral pH of 7.
The 3 sodium solutions were able to be differentiated because sodium chloride precipitated with silver nitrate and had a pH of 6. Sodium acetate also had a pH of 6, but did not form a precipitate with silver nitrate. Sodium carbonate also had a significantly more basic pH of 11.
The 2 copper solutions were blue and easily identified among the other 12 clear solutions. Barium chloride would have been used to react the 2 copper solutions because copper 2 sulfate would form the white precipitate barium sulfate while copper 2 nitrate would not.
This lab can be completed many different ways because there are so many different physical and chemical properties that can be tested to differentiate between otherwise identical solutions. However, one must take caution in areas of the experiment in which error may occur. Reading the litmus strips to determine solution pH is especially difficult due to it being mainly based on human judgment. If the pHs were inaccurate, conclusions may be misled and in turn impact the reliability of the entire experiment.
Secondly, the reaction between silver nitrate and sodium chloride should have created the white precipitate silver chloride. However, no visible solid formed during the experiment. This may have occurred as a result of insufficient reactant molarities or human error in failing to notice a white solid in a white spot plate. This could have been resolved by repeating the trial on a sheet of clear plastic on the black table surface. And that is the Mystery Solutions Lab.